We are back after a week hiatus. Right, Sammy? A week we took off. We felt as if we didn't need to post on Elevation Nation, nor did we want to, because we needed to recharge so that we could provide the best elevating that we can going forward. So we're here, elevating again on Fortitude and 15. What's up, Sam?
Hey, Parker. I hope everyone at home had a nice 4th of July. Parker and I took the week off, like he said, to recharge, go on vacation. Our first time not releasing an episode in probably over a year, right? Which is pretty impressive. But we earned it. So sorry if you missed us, but you got us this week. So if you haven't checked it out, we released on Tuesday an awesome interview with Chase Damiano. He's a leadership coach. I actually met him in the lobby of my building randomly, and we had him on the podcast. And he's a man, and he's really smart, and he's helped build a ton of companies and those companies' leaders. So if you're working on your leadership skills, go check it out.
He's a philosophy guy, Sam. Can't forget that. We got
Parker
into
loves
some
that
good
stuff.
Philosophical discussion about just like the life we live and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It's right up your alley. It was a great conversation. But this week's Fortitude and 15, we're going to do a little bit differently. As you guys know, I am from the Chicagoland area, and 4th of July this year was unlike any 4th of July. I was going to a friend's roof to barbecue and grill out, and we saw on Twitter that there had been a shooting in the town over from me, the town where my grandma lives, in Highland Park, Illinois. We were getting news live through Twitter of what had actually happened and kind of waiting to hear more news, and called my grandma to tell her to stay inside, and she didn't have Twitter, so she wasn't getting the updates like we were. And it was a scary day. It was an unfortunate day. Some people, great people, lost their lives. People I'm connected to. People are in the hospital. And so I just wanted to say that we're thinking of all the families and people impacted, particularly one actually friends with my grandma and is in the hospital right now. So we're going to link to his GoFundMe page if you are looking for a way to make an impact. As you can imagine, the hospital bills are going to be piling up for many of these families that have people still suffering and getting medical attention. So if you have a little extra money and are trying to make a difference, we'll link to the GoFundMe in the episode as well. It was a tough week. I'm not going to lie. It was supposed to be a week off. It was supposed to be a day of celebration. I actually ended up going to a party at the White House that night, which was really cool. And it was pretty hard to stay focused, Parker, when, these shootings keep happening and they hit closer and closer to home. My brother being a police officer and having known many of the police officers involved, many of the SWAT team members involved, it was a really strange day, seeing the pictures across national news of restaurants that I ate at less than a month ago when I was in Chicago visiting my grandma, living 2 blocks away. It's insane. So again, not to get political, but we need something to change, right? We can't keep having this happen. I don't know what the answers are, but it was a tough week. So enough of that. If anyone needs to talk about it, any of the Chicago listeners out there and want to reach out, I know I definitely am looking for people to talk to and support through it, and it's not easy. So if we can help in any way, just let us know. But on to other things on a brighter news, Parker, and brighter side. I know you had a nice week off of relaxing at the beach, right? And spending some time with the fam out in Maryland.
I was in Maryland and I was in New Jersey with some family, but I just wanted to say, to your point, it's hard to put into words a lot of just what transpired both in Highland Park, but then also over the last, 10 years. All of these, there really is no words to describe it or put the feelings there. And I can't imagine something like that happening in my hometown or whatnot. And it's crazy. So, like Sam said, hearts go out, and, if anyone needs a space to talk or just connect or whatever, we're always here. We've always said that we're always here. We have a Calendly link. You can go to our Calendly on our Instagram and just set up 30 minutes and we'll just hang out. So it's there, always open, no charge ever. But yeah, Sam, it was a good break. It was a fun holiday. There's nothing better, to be honest with you, than doing absolutely nothing. There really isn't anything better than doing absolutely nothing. And I know that you and I have talked about this many, many times before, but the idea of doing absolutely nothing, Sam, is quite sometimes eye-opening because it allows you to reflect on many things and kind of just coast and enjoy and do and be. And that's just how I went about my break, and I really enjoyed it. So thanks for asking.
I'm glad you got some time to recharge. It's always important. Yeah, I was in Austin, Texas for the week on vacation. We didn't do as much relaxing. We did a lot more eating. I ate a lot of barbecue, copious amounts of tacos, and it was a nice week off. It was lovely to actually take a break and just kind of chill out for a bit. So Elevation Nation, hopefully you guys had a lovely 4th of July and were able to take some time to recharge. I know, at least for me, I get semi-depressed when we hit 4th of July because I feel like the entire summer is gone already. Like we're going to blink.
Dude, the summer just started.
No, that's what you think, man. It's almost over.
We literally talked about this like 2 weeks ago.
Dude, it's almost over. What are we going to do?
You do realize that summer begins June 21st, and July 4th is like less than 14 days after.
Yeah, I'm not a weatherman, so that's not what I mean. But I think this comes from the inherent fact that school started like, end of August, right? It's like 4th of July. You're already like thinking, okay, like what classes am I taking? You have class sign up like a few weeks after that. You start your practice for like fall sports right after that. And it's like back into the swing of school.
Yeah, but dude, now you're not 14.
Adult, yeah, bro, I know. I'm saying that now that I'm an adult, I don't even have a summer break. So I guess it doesn't really fucking matter. But
well, you just did. But it went from 10 weeks to 1 week. That's what happens when you become old. Your break is definitely a lot shorter. I think it's one of the takeaways I had from my break was that time is moving really, really fast as you get older. Like, I feel like I look back at exactly what I was doing a year ago, July 4th. Like, it seems like yesterday. And I feel, I was having this conversation with JJ's family that, like, it's just as you get older, time seems to be moving faster and faster. And
insane.
It's kind of scary in that sense. It's sad, but then I look at it too. It's like you can put a lot of time and effort into something, and oftentimes you are you turn away from putting in the work because you think that's something like, oh, I'm gonna spend a year on this. It's gonna take a long time. But having those time reminders, like, damn, like I felt like it was this time last year, is like kind of nice in the sense like, wow, like I can work a year on this and I can actually do it and I can be here and I can feel that it's going to go quick. And, regardless if it goes well or not, a year flies by, right? It's crazy.
It does. I mean, it's scary. I'm definitely going through like a quarter life crisis right now where I'm like, what the hell am I doing with my life? But I've been doing that for like 4 years straight. So
that's like every episode of this podcast.
Yeah, essentially. So if anyone knows what I should do with my life, please let me know. I'd love some suggestions. But
yeah, Sam has gotten to the point where he is fermenting kimchi and cucumbers to make pickles, and he lives under his bed now. He sleeps under his bed. He doesn't sleep actually in his bed. He sleeps under it now because he thinks that it is better for his body.
That last part was so randomly made up, but the first two parts are true. I am making kimchi and I am making pickles again.
Dude. And he's sleeping under his own bed.
I just decided that the hobby that I wanted to get into, that I want to get good at, is cooking. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get really good at cooking random things. So
let's talk
that's my
about that for
plan.
a second. You know, we talk
Okay.
about Elevation Nation, self-awareness, vision, accountability. Oftentimes when we talk about mental fortitude, those three pieces are the framework for mental fortitude. We talk about it in the context of work. We talk it in the context of building something or whatnot. But I see you're using it in the context of a hobby. You had this idea that you didn't have a hobby, right? You were like, wow, I want a hobby, even though you have many hobbies, as in talk to me all the time. Whether that's a hobby or not, I don't know. You were like, I want a hobby. You know what? I like cooking. I like food. You had that self-awareness. You took a step back. You're like, you know what? I'm going to try to create a hobby around food. So what'd you start doing? You held yourself accountable, Sam, right? You started reading some books, listening to some podcasts, talking to some individuals about food, YouTube, and now you're waiting for pickles to ferment as you walk past the kitchen every morning to walk out the door. You're looking at the pickle and you're like, you're one day more fermented than you were yesterday, but I'm still not going to open that jar because you're not ready to be eaten. Is that right, Sam?
You're close. I'm fermenting the kimchi. I'm pickling the pickles. But
It's the same
you were
shit.
close. No, Parker, if you read the books, you would know that it's not. But yes, that's exactly what I did. I don't know. I just realized as I'm getting older that I don't do anything. Literally, all I do is I work and I work on Elevation Nation. I was like, I should probably do something else and work out. So instead of playing video games or watching another episode of Drive to Survive, which I've watched 2 seasons in 3 weeks, which is horrible. But if you haven't watched it, check out Drive to Survive. Great ass show. I started rereading some cookbooks and some books about the history of cooking. And yeah, so we're just getting back into it. I don't know. Cooking to me is a part of all right, this is a deeper question, Parker, and we're running out of time. But do you picture a life for yourself of when you will have made it? Not made it, but do you picture your life in 10, 15 years? Settled down with the family? What are you doing?
I told you this.
You tell me a lot. Oh yeah, with your rocking chair.
I know, but when I feel when we picture that, I feel like an old freaking man sitting in a rocking chair. No,
No, you just like to rock. I get it.
It's the idea that I can just sit and hang out and just be happy and proud to be my mental motto. Proud of the things I've done and proud of the things that I'm going to be able to do and being able to enjoy.
Are you reading in this chair? What are you doing?
No, just sitting.
You're just sitting? You're just looking? You're
Yeah,
looking
but that's
over a
only,
lake?
I'm not sitting every day for the whole day in this freaking chair. That wouldn't be fun.
Me and McP were talking about this the other day. We were talking about little things we want that will make us feel like we made it financially. Matt was saying that he wants one of those sinks that's over his stove so he can fill up pots of water faster.
Dude, that's such a McP, what, dude?
I want a really, really cool looking kitchen with all the gizmos and gadgets so that I can cook a bunch of cool stuff. That's
I
where
want to be able to go to every Ravens game in the whole season. One time.
Okay.
16
All right.
games.
See?
All 16 games.
There you go. We all have our goals of what we want to do when
Dude,
we're
that would
older.
be fucking cool.
God. Just paint
Not
your
miss
body while
one
you're
game.
at it.
Travel to every place.
Be a grown man, paint your body purple, and fly
and
Ravens
only
fly.
travel by RV. Now that is a bucket list item. I'm adding that to my list.
Well, I believe Philip and Paige are looking into an RV perhaps in the future, so maybe they'll let you borrow it.
That would
You
be
never
cool.
know. So, long story short, Elevation Nation, I guess what I'm trying to say is when you're picturing your life in the future, what does it actually have? Right? Are you truly in a mansion? Do you have a boat? Are you in a tent? All these things that you have, is that really what you're picturing? Or are you picturing the feeling that comes with some of these things? I don't care what car I'm driving. I just want a really cool kitchen with a great speaker sound system so that I can jam while I cook with my beautiful wife and my healthy kids and just making some kimchi. That's my beautiful vision for what I want my life to turn out like. And I realize now that that is achievable. It's not a crazy goal to have that. I can achieve that goal. Parker, you could realistically save some money and go to all 16 games, right? Like, it's not like you're saying you want to have $1 billion or own a mega yacht. Like, your goal for your ideal year, this beautiful picture of your life in the future, is very achievable, which is good.
If you have a goal that you want to be a billionaire one day, you're going to be living your life with a lot of misery because realistically, you're never going to get there unless you're a lucky one. And I'm not saying don't go after it, or I'm not telling you what to do, but having a goal like that, you're always tied to a number. You could always be doing more or less, and then your whole life becomes this whole transactional thing. I like the feelings idea. Tie goals to feelings. I like that. That's one of the most inspirational things you've ever said, Sammy.
Thank you. Well, I don't know where this episode went, but I liked it. So happy 4th of July, everyone. Until next week. Peace.